The release of secret files concerning the assassinations of John F. Kennedy JFK, Martin Luther King Jr. MLK and Robert F. Kennedy RFK is set to reignite discussions and speculation surrounding these historical events that profoundly impacted American society in the 1960s. Following a commitment made by former President Donald Trump, the declassification of these documents aims to provide clarity on the shadowy circumstances surrounding the murders that have fueled conspiracy theories for decades. Key historical events. 1. Assassination of JFK. On November 22, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas while traveling in a motorcade. The official investigation by the Warren Commission concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, but this finding has been met with skepticism over the years, with numerous polls indicating that more than 50% of Americans believe there was a conspiracy involved. 2. Assassination of MLK. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on April 4, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. The official narrative attributes his assassination to James Earl Ray, but many, including members of King's family, have expressed doubts about this conclusion, suggesting a broader conspiracy involving government entities. 3. Assassination of RFK. Senator Robert F. Kennedy was shot on June 5, 1968 at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. Sirhan was convicted of the murder, but similar to the other two cases, questions linger about possible conspiracies, particularly regarding the involvement of the CIA, which some believe had animosity towards RFK. Timeline of document release. 1992, Congress passed a law mandating the release of files related to JFK's assassination. 2017, Trump initially delayed the release of documents citing national security concerns, but later announced a complete review of remaining files. January 2025, Trump issued an executive order to release the final batch of documents concerning JFK, MLK, and RFK. Implications of the released files. Conspiracy theories and public skepticism. Despite the Warren Commission's findings, public skepticism surrounding JFK's assassination has persisted, leading many to believe that more than one individual or group was involved. The House Select Committee on Assassinations in 1979 suggested a probable conspiracy but failed to identify specific conspirators. This skepticism has only grown with time, leading to a proliferation of conspiracy theories that suggest governmental or organized crime involvement. Experts like Tom Samolek caution that while the new files may provide additional context and details, they are unlikely to contain definitive proof of conspiracy. Instead, they may enrich the narrative surrounding these events without resolving the inherent uncertainties. Insights on RFK's assassination. Most documents related to RFK's assassination have already been released, but some records from the CIA remain undisclosed. Authors like Tim Tate argue that if these documents are revealed, they could indicate the CIA's animosity towards RFK and might even suggest agency involvement in his death. Family concerns regarding MLK's assassination. The King family has expressed a desire to review the files before public release. They have stated that the assassination remains a deeply personal loss and hope to find some closure through these documents. Dexter King has raised questions about the official narrative, suggesting that more people were involved in his father's assassination than just James Earl Ray. The family's concerns reflect a broader sentiment that the full truth has yet to be uncovered. Differences in public perception. Media coverage of the upcoming file release has varied. Outlets like CNN emphasize the historical reluctance of the government to disclose information and the skepticism regarding the lone gunman theory. In contrast, social media discussions often reflect a dismissive attitude towards the topic, viewing it as a distraction from current issues. This divergence indicates a complex relationship between historical events and contemporary public interest. Conclusion. The impending release of secret files related to the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK is poised to provide new insights into these pivotal moments in American history. However, while the revelations may deepen our understanding of the context surrounding these tragedies, they are unlikely to dispel the myriad conspiracy theories that have emerged over the decades. The historical significance of these events combined with the public's enduring fascination ensures that the search for truth remains an ongoing dialogue reflecting both the complexities of history and the persistent quest for justice and understanding. The impending release of secret files regarding the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK reveals a complex tapestry of historical events that challenge conventional narratives and highlight public skepticism. The information may not conform to expectations of clarity and instead could further entrench existing conspiracy theories surrounding these pivotal moments in American history. 1. Conspiracy theories and public skepticism. The narrative that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in JFK's assassination remains deeply contested. Polls show that over 50% of Americans have consistently doubted this conclusion, indicating a persistent belief that a broader conspiracy may have been involved. The House Select Committee on Assassinations, though unable to pinpoint conspirators, suggested a probable conspiracy. This skepticism extends to the assassinations of MLK and RFK, with many theorizing that darker forces played a role beyond the official accounts. 2. Expectations versus reality of document releases. Experts caution that the newly released files may not contain the definitive proof desired by conspiracy theorists. Instead, they are expected to provide additional context and details, enriching the narrative without necessarily answering lingering questions. For instance, Tom Samolek emphasizes that while the documents may enhance understanding, they are unlikely to present a smoking gun that resolves the conspiracy debates. 3. The CIA and RFK's assassination. Most records regarding RFK's assassination have been released, yet some CIA documents remain undisclosed. Tim Tate speculates that these documents could reveal animosity from the CIA towards RFK and could suggest potential involvement in his assassination. This highlights the ongoing debate about the extent to which government agencies were involved in or aware of the assassinations. For MLK's family in the search for closure, the King family's request to review files before public release underscores the personal impact of these events. Dexter King's doubts about James Earl Ray's sole culpability illustrate the family's ongoing quest for closure, suggesting that the official narrative may not be sufficient for those directly affected. 5. Differences in source perspectives. Media portrayals differ in their emphasis on government secrecy and public skepticism. While some outlets highlight the historical reluctance to disclose information, others reflect a more apathetic public attitude, viewing the discussion of these files as a distraction from contemporary issues. This divergence illustrates the varied public engagement with historical events and conspiracies. Overall, the release of these files could provide new insights but is unlikely to quell speculation or conspiracy theories. Instead, they may deepen the complexities surrounding these assassinations and highlight the broader issues of trust in government and the quest for truth in American history. The impending release of secret files regarding the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK is significant for several reasons, particularly concerning the potential revelations that may challenge long-standing narratives and the implications of these documents on public trust in government institutions. Overlooked content and its significance. 1. Public skepticism and conspiracy theories. A crucial aspect that many may overlook is the persistent public skepticism surrounding the official narratives of these assassinations. Polls show that over 50% of Americans have questioned the conclusion that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone in JFK's assassination. This skepticism is not merely a reflection of conspiracy culture but suggests a deeper distrust in government accounts of critical historical events. Understanding this sentiment is significant because it highlights the psychological and cultural impacts of these assassinations on American society. The fact that conspiracy theories have flourished in the absence of conclusive evidence points to a broader narrative about the relationship between the government and its citizens, especially in times of trauma and upheaval. 2. Impact of limited document releases. Experts like Tom Samolette caution that the newly released files may not contain the smoking gun that many hope for. This point is often minimized in discussions about the files. The significance lies in the expectation management it sets for the public. If the documents do not reveal definitive proof of a conspiracy, it may reinforce existing beliefs among conspiracy theorists that the truth has been deliberately obscured. This could perpetuate a cycle of mistrust and speculation, further complicating the historical understanding of these events. 3. CIA's role in RFK's assassination. The potential involvement of the CIA in RFK's assassination is another critical point that may be overlooked. While many documents concerning RFK have been released, the significance of those still withheld could be profound. The assertion by Tim Tate that undisclosed files could illustrate the CIA's animosity toward RFK suggests a narrative that implicates government agencies in the political assassinations of the era. This raises questions about the nature of intelligence agencies and their accountability, which are highly relevant in discussions about national security and civil liberties today. If the files provide any evidence of CIA involvement or knowledge about the assassination, it could lead to a re-evaluation of the agency's role in American politics and its ethical boundaries. For family perspectives and the quest for closure. The King family's desire to review the files before public release reflects a deeply personal and emotional aspect of this narrative that often goes unnoticed. Dexter King's doubts about the official account of his father's assassination emphasize the human cost of these political events. This is significant because it illustrates the ongoing trauma that the families of these figures endure and underscores the importance of addressing their perspectives in public discussions. The need for closure and truth is a humanizing element that can shift the focus from sensationalist conspiracy theories to a more empathetic understanding of the historical impact on individual lives. 5. Historical context of FBI surveillance. The historical context of the FBI's surveillance of MLK, authorized even by Robert F. Kennedy himself, is significant yet frequently overlooked. The implications of this surveillance, including attempts to undermine King's influence, add layers to the narrative of his assassination. This context not only reflects the government's attitudes towards civil rights leaders but also raises questions about the ethical implications of surveillance practices. The acknowledgement of these actions provides insight into the lengths to which government entities will go to maintain control and suppress dissent, a theme that resonates in contemporary discussions about privacy rights and state surveillance. 6. Potential for new evidence of conspiracy. The possibility that the files could reveal new evidence of a conspiracy is another critical point that may not receive adequate attention. While experts predict that definitive proof may not emerge, any new information that suggests a broader conspiracy could significantly reshape public understanding and historical narratives. The significance of this lies in the potential for a paradigm shift in how these assassinations are interpreted, possibly influencing public policy and historical memory. 7. Lessons for modern governance. Finally, the release of these files presents an opportunity to reflect on modern governance and transparency. The historical reluctance of government institutions to fully disclose information about these events begs the question of current practices in transparency and accountability. As citizens demand more openness from their government, these files could serve as a case study in the necessity of trust between the populace and their leaders. The implications for contemporary governance frameworks, especially in light of increasing polarization and distrust, are profound. Conclusion. In summary, the upcoming release of secret files regarding the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK is layered with potential revelations that could alter public understanding and historical narratives. The overlooked aspects, public skepticism, the implications of undisclosed CIA documents, family perspectives, the historical context of surveillance, and the potential for new evidence of conspiracy, are significant because they not only inform our understanding of these pivotal events but also speak to broader issues of trust, governance, and accountability in contemporary society. The anticipation surrounding these documents reflects not just a quest for historical clarity but also a yearning for truth in a complex and often opaque political landscape. 1. Conspiracy theories and public skepticism. The release of these secret files is likely to intensify the already widespread skepticism regarding the official narratives surrounding the murders of JFK, MLK, and RFK. Despite formal investigations like the Warren Commission and the House Select Committee on Assassinations, which concluded that Oswald acted alone, public belief in a conspiracy remains robust. Gallup polls consistently show that over half of Americans doubt the lone gunman theory, reflecting a deep-seated mistrust in government narratives. This skepticism is fueled by the historical context of the 1960s, a time rife with political turmoil and social upheaval, leading many to believe that powerful entities could be involved in these assassinations. 2. Expert expectations on the file's content. Experts such as Tom Samoluk and Gerald Posner have tempered expectations regarding the revelations that the newly released files may provide. They caution that while the documents could add layers of context and nuance to our understanding of these events, they are unlikely to deliver definitive proof of conspiracy or a smoking gun. Instead, the files may enrich the historical narrative, highlighting the complexities of the political climate and the individuals involved. This perspective suggests that while the files may offer more information, they may not quell the conspiracy theories that have proliferated over the decades. 3. Potential CIA involvement in RFK's assassination. The potential unveiling of previously undisclosed CIA documents related to RFK's assassination raises significant concerns about the agency's possible involvement or animosity towards him. Tim Tate suggests that if any documents reveal the CIA's negative stance towards RFK, they could shed light on previously hidden motivations and actions that may link the agency to the assassination. This aspect is crucial as it opens discussions about the intersection of intelligence operations and political assassinations during a volatile period in American history, inviting speculation about the extent of governmental influence on these tragic events. For MLK's family and the quest for closure, the King family's desire to review the files before public release underscores the personal and emotional weight of MLK's assassination. Dexter King's skepticism about the official narrative, which holds James Earl Ray solely responsible, reflects a broader belief among some family members and associates that a conspiracy may have been at play. This aspect amplifies the discussion about the implications of the files for historical understanding and personal closure for those directly affected by these events. The family's request for a delay in the release of the documents highlights the ongoing impact of these assassinations on their lives and the complexities of reconciling personal grief with public historical narratives. In conclusion, the release of these secret files promises to be a significant moment in understanding the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK. However, it is likely to reinforce existing theories and public skepticism rather than resolve the intricacies surrounding these pivotal events in American history. 1. The assassination of President William McKinley. 1901. William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, was shot by anarchist Leon Zalgos on September 6, 1901 during a public reception in Buffalo, New York. McKinley initially survived the attack but succumbed to gangrene caused by his bullet wounds a week later. The assassination raised significant concerns about security at public events and led to increased protections for the president. Zalgos was quickly apprehended, tried, and executed, but the events sparked widespread debate about anarchism and political violence in America. Similar to the discussions surrounding the motives and implications of JFK's assassination. 2. The murder of Martin Luther King Jr. 1968. Martin Luther King Jr., a prominent leader in the American civil rights movement, was assassinated on April 4, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee by James Earl Ray, who was later convicted of the crime. King's assassination led to widespread riots and protests across the United States, reflecting the deep social and racial tensions of the time. Over the years, numerous conspiracy theories have emerged regarding the true circumstances of King's death, including claims of involvement by government entities. This mirrors the ongoing speculation and investigation into the assassinations of JFK and RFK, particularly regarding the extent of governmental involvement or negligence. 3. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand 1914. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife Sophie on June 28, 1914. By Gavrilo Princip in Sarajevo is often cited as the immediate cause of World War I. The assassination set off a chain of events that led to the mobilization of Europe's great powers into a devastating conflict. The political ramifications and conspiracy theories surrounding the assassination, including questions about the motives of various nationalist groups and the involvement of larger powers, parallel the complex narratives surrounding the assassinations of JFK, MLK, and RFK, including debates about the role of various factions in their deaths. The anticipated release of secret files concerning the assassinations of John F. Kennedy JFK, Martin Luther King Jr. MLK, and Robert F. Kennedy RFK is set to reshape the discussions and theories surrounding these historical events. As we look ahead, several predictions can be made about the implications of this release. 1. Surge in public interest and debates. The unveiling of these files is likely to invigorate public interest in the historical context of the 1960s, a decade marked by profound social and political upheaval. Expect a resurgence of books, documentaries, and media discussions focusing on the assassinations and their impact on American society. The files may provide new insights, but they will undoubtedly reignite debates over conspiracy theories and the narratives surrounding these figures. 2. Mixed reactions from experts. While some historians may welcome the additional context the files could provide, many experts, including those who have previously reviewed declassified documents, caution against expecting definitive proof of conspiracy. The narrative is complicated, and the files may only serve to enrich existing theories rather than conclusively resolve them. Some may argue that the information could be more embarrassing for government agencies than enlightening for the public. 3. Heightened skepticism and conspiracy theories. Despite any revelations, skepticism surrounding the official narratives is unlikely to diminish. A significant portion of the public has long held doubts about the lone gunman theories, and new information might not satisfy those seeking clarity. Instead, it may lead to even more conspiracy theories, as individuals may suggest that evidence is missing or that a larger cover-up is at play. 4. Family reactions and legal implications. The families of the assassinated figures, particularly the King family, have expressed a desire to review the documents before public release. Their reactions could influence how the information is presented and discussed. If the files contain sensitive or damaging information, there may be legal or ethical debates about their public dissemination. The interplay between personal grief and public interest will continue to be a poignant aspect of the discourse. 5. Investigative journalism revival. The release of these files may lead to a renewed wave of investigative journalism. Reporters and journalists will likely comb through the documents to uncover new angles and stories. This could result in a more nuanced understanding of the political climate of the time and reveal connections that have not been previously considered. 6. Influence on current politics. The release may also impact the contemporary political landscape. Discussions around the legacy of these figures and the circumstances of their deaths could be leveraged in political discourse, particularly regarding issues of civil rights, government transparency, and public trust in institutions. The events of the 1960s continue to resonate, and the new information may serve as a lens through which current societal challenges are viewed. 7. Potential for new research directions. Academics and researchers may use the newly available documents as a foundation for further study, potentially leading to new theories and interpretations of historical events. The files could reveal previously unknown connections between the assassinations and broader political movements or events, prompting a re-evaluation of the historical narrative. 8. Long-term cultural impact. The cultural landscape may also be influenced by the revelations. Films, literature, and art inspired by these events may see a resurgence reflecting the continued fascination with the 1960s and its key figures. The narrative surrounding JFK, MLK, and RFK has already shaped American culture, and new insights could further deepen this influence. Conclusion. The release of the secret files concerning JFK, MLK, and RFK is poised to have a multifaceted impact on society, politics, and culture. While definitive answers may not emerge, the process of examination and discussion will ensure that these historical events remain integral to the American consciousness. The quest for truth will likely continue, fueled by both the new information and the enduring legacy of these influential figures.